My dream, I know Martin Luther King had a dream here, and that changed how how America's civil rights came about. And event, I hope, this event, I hope, will bring a change, a small step, but it will be a giant step towards mankind, towards building cohesive societies where no American, no person in the world has to feel apprehension or fearful of fellow Americans. We need to build an America like that. And what does it take? What does it take to build an America where you don't have to be afraid of me, I don't have to be afraid of you? It's very simple. Sit down and have a dialogue. Sit down face to face. Learn about each other. I urge fellow Americans to go to mosque, to go to synagogue, to go to churches, to go to the temples. Learn what they do. They're saying beautiful things. Look at their devotion to the God, not look at what they do. And this is what we need to do. The more we do, the more we learn about each other, the less conflicts we will have.
One nation, under God, indivisible. What groups like ISIS are trying to do is to divide us as Americans, and they're succeeding, unfortunately. We have people who come along and say Muslims need to be registered, they need to be, their mosques need to be monitored, they have to have special identity cards. You know, this is not America. And ISIS succeeds when we fall victim to the fear that they're trying to spread. We have to stand up. America has been through many, many challenges. This is another challenge. But we should not forget our values. We should not forget the things that made us a beacon for people the world over. I served in the Foreign Service for many years. Every embassy that I served at, there were lines of people waiting to come in and apply for visas because they wanted to come to the United States to experience the freedom and the life that we had. Are we going to let people who are thugs and gangsters, people who have nothing to do with a particular religion, try to hijack that and make it sound like there is something that Americans need to be afraid of? You know, look at us. Are you afraid of us? Should you be? We think not. Should you be afraid of ISIS? Yes, not because they're Muslims, but because they're thugs, they're gangsters, they're crazy people, and who have carried out the majority of their depredations against other Muslims.
So I'm proud to stand before you today as an American Jew to support the Muslims, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, and people of all religious faiths who are angry about the vicious attacks by ISIS and other radicals on the United States in France, Beirut, Lebanon, Mali, and every single day in Syria and Iraq. The United States has to continue battling this vicious organization militarily, politically, but also ideologically, seeking to destroy not only the so-called Islamic State, but their violent worldviews. But what we can never do, both because it is morally wrong and dangerous to our national security, is to paint all Muslims with the same broad brush, to listen to the rants of people like Donald Trump and Ben Carson, who are not knowledgeable about the U.S. Constitution, about the Middle East, or American Muslims. The United States needs all the help we can get to combat ISIS. We need help from our Arab allies, from Saudi Arabia, Jordan, the United Arab Emirates, the Kurds. Remember the Kurds, whom everyone wants to fight ISIS. Mr. Trump and Mr. Carson, did you forget they are all Muslims? Trump says he would force all Muslims in the U.S. to be registered in a database. Carson likened refugees seeking to enter the United States to a rabid dog running around your neighborhood. And what about the American Muslims who are cooperating with the FBI in helping to root out radicals within their own community? Did you know that many American mosques like Adams are doing just that?
Dear friends, my name is Nanik Lahori. I'm here as a Hindu representative of the Interfaith Conference of Washington, D.C. to demonstrate unity and solidarity against the organization called TSIS. Yes, I'm not making a mistake. I call it TSIS, Terrorist State of Iraq and Syria. It's not an Islamic state because there's nothing Islamic about them. Islam teaches us to love and honor God, life and liberty. They teach us to love them, death and destruction. After 9/11 tragedy in USA, I went to see one movie on the YouTube called My Name is Khan. That was the major actor, the main actor, very popular actor, Shah Rukh Khan. He was portrayed as a mentally challenged boy, and his ambition was, after that tragedy, to travel from Bombay to USA to meet President Barack Obama, just to convey him one message: my name is Khan, I'm a Muslim, and I'm not a terrorist. I'm sure this is the sentiment of most of the Muslims all around the world. United Nations, I'll say that fortunately President Obama and all political leaders and most of the population of the world, they believe in that. United Nations has declared ISIS as a terrorist organization. NATO has declared war against ISIS. During G20 summit in Turkey this week, all 20 strong nations had declared unity and solidarity to fight against ISIS. Media and mainstream news had to play their important role in dissociating the terms like Muslim and Islam with this organization. Call them thesis or whatever other thing befitting their horrific acts. Finally, we all had to play our role in removing fear from our minds, because chances of being terrorized are negligible. And remember, like everything else, this shall also pass away. Thank you.
I just wanted to say that I come from a Muslim family, and growing up in a Muslim family, I never felt that that my religion would make me hate anybody else just because their religion is different than mine. And as many innocent people died during World War II in the hands of Nazi Germany, I don't go around and blame Christendom for what happened against the Jews, gypsies, minorities, and so on during World War II. And what I heard as far as Donald Trump stating that part of his campaign is to take Muslims and put them on a registry based on their religion and so on. I feel this is exactly what the Nazi Germany did to its citizens, and this is just despicable. And we all, as Muslims, Christians, Jews, atheists, agnostic, any religion, we should condemn this, and we should send a strong message that we are united. And this kind of bigotry, this kind of bigotry cannot stand. We are not going to stand behind such bigotry. Thank you so much.
I just want to thank everybody for coming here today. I think it's important for all of us to come together to demonstrate that we all come in different shapes and colors and sizes, but we all live here and this is our country. And as a Muslim American, I was always raised to believe that our faith teaches us to serve humanity and to respect the rules and to obey those who are in authority over us. And so this is our country. And for years we have worked to develop relationships with our neighbors. And I think that when these horrible tragedies happen, we have to remind ourselves about what makes us all human, so that we can understand each other and build those bridges, especially at the times when they are the most weak. So I want to give my support to these types of grassroots initiatives. I think they're very important, and I want to just extend my appreciation for everybody who's here today. Thank you.
And we just want to be very clear to everybody that ISIS has nothing to do with Islam. They claim to have something to do with Islam, but 99.9% of Muslims do not believe that they have anything to do with Islam. And we are just as appalled and horrified by the actions they've been taking around the world. We believe that this is not the way to behave or live. and we condemn everything that they've done. Thank you.
I just want to say make it very clear, Islam is religion of peace. The name of Islam itself was given by our God, which means peace. We are the people who are searching for peace. We want the peace. We always say Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum means like peace be upon you. The first time when we see each other. Because as you see, peace is the highest thing that we always looking for in our life. If you have the peace, you can always encounter anything in your life peacefully, and you don't have to fight against each other. Your heart, if it is peace, then the God, what we believe, is gonna make sure that He guarantee amazing peace within our heart. And then what else are we competing for? If we are in peace, anything that we do is going to be very easy. But unfortunately, people, when they are addicted to the drug, when they are addicted to any drink, it's just like temporary calmness. But that's not going to make them happy for the rest of their life. But the peace is the highest state in Islam, and we don't promote the killing in our religion. Our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the beloved Prophet, when he was stoned to the death, his head until his sandal was bleeding. But he didn't make the prayer for them to be punished by the God. In fact, he made the dua, it means Allahumma ihdi wa qawmi fa innahum la ya'lamun. Oh God, guide me and guide my people, because they didn't know, and He forgave them at the same time. Thank you so much, and have a good day.
What I love to see is a strong, secure nation in America, which is not only secure in terms of threats from organizations like ISIS, because this is my home, and if somebody comes into my home and tries to destroy it, then what I want to do is to make sure that they do not exist. I do not want them to come into our homes. I do not want them to come to the United States. I want them to be annihilated, because what they stand for is wrong, because what they are doing is not what Islam has preached. Teachings of Islam are based on peace, and they are not based on what they are doing. They are not the Muslims. They are absolutely not Muslims, in my opinion, and in the opinion of most of the religious leaders that are in the United States or across the world right now. All the religious leaders, Muslim religious leaders, have condemned their actions, and they have said, this is wrong. You cannot continue to do what you're doing. As Mike has pointed out, they have killed more Muslims across the world at this point than anybody else, and they continue to do that. Even Muslims who do not believe in their philosophy, they find them to be blasphemous, or they destroy them. What ISIS wants, and their agenda is to go into a country where they want to cause harm, is to separate people, isolate individuals, so that there is nothing left. And that's and the GOP right now, in terms of what they're saying, is feeding into the animal that ISIS is. That's exactly what ISIS wants. So I urge all of you to consider and to appreciate what we stand for, the scientists, the physicians, the social element that we've got in the United States, that we have done, and value us based upon what we are, not what ISIS is. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Condemn and protest all the evil deeds. These people, some people, Daesh, and I don't want to say them ISIS. I want them to hate me because I say them Daesh. The people that are doing the work against humanity, the crime against humanity committed, they don't discriminate, they kill everybody. Majority, 90% of the victims are people of Islamic faith. They have no religion, their religion is terrorism. And we condemn it 2 hours from the bottom of our heart as Americans, as citizens of the world. And I want it to be understood that we all here do it as a humanity. An act against humanity must be condemned, and they must be prosecuted in the best possible manner, as U.S. the supreme force in the world, as well as in coordination with the international community. May God bless all of us. May God bless the humanity.
In America, we are God's own country. We are every race, ethnicity, culture, religion. We are all working together. You will not find an office in 5 years from now, your place of worship, your restaurant, your soccer field, where you will not find people of different faiths, races, communities working together, playing together, and marrying together. 42% of the marriages are interfaith marriages. When we do this, conflicts are bound to happen. When the Christmas comes and the guy celebrates Hanukkah, he decorates, she doesn't do for Christmas, the conflicts do arise. So as a society, we have to shape this society, come together in the interfaith gatherings, learn about each other, and these conflicts should not affect us.